Morning students, Sairam, this is Mega Miss here, and today we will start with our new lesson after our term 1 is over. Okay, that is lesson number 13, carbon, an important element. Okay students, before this we have completed with our lesson number 3, that is current electricity. I hope you have studied that chapter also very well. Okay, so should we proceed with a new lesson today? Now carbon, the word carbon and the word element, both you have studied. Yes, carbon is one of the element. Yes, and you know carbon is very important in our life. Yes, this element is very important in our life. Whatever things daily also if we use, some or the other contains the carbon. Okay, so we'll study about this element in detail in this lesson. Okay students, so now starting with, we'll see a short introduction about carbon. Carbon, the element carbon is available abundantly in the nature. You can see the picture also. Okay, it looks like that, and occurs in a free as well as in a combined state. Okay, so you can get it freely also, or you may get it in the combined state also. Yes, now you have carbon dioxide gas, there it is in combined state, right, with the oxygen. In this chapter, let us study the properties of the non-metallic element carbon. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about the properties of the non-metallic element carbon. Okay, so we'll proceed. Now, the symbol of carbon. Important things to remember. The 6 points. Symbol of carbon, always capital letter C. Okay students, it will be always a capital letter C. Small letter C you will not write. Okay. Atomic number 6. Atomic mass 12. Electron configuration 2, 4. As you can see, atomic number is 6. 6 electrons. So you 2 are in the first shell. Second shell will have the 4 electrons. Okay. Now 4 electrons are less to complete the octet, right? So because you need 8 electrons in the outermost shell, right? So the valency of carbon is 4. Okay students, and it is non-metallic element. It do not have the metallic properties. Okay students, these 6 points you will remember. Okay, study them properly. Okay, now occurrence of carbon. The name carbon is derived from the Latin word carbo, meaning coal. Okay, carbon is found in nature in free as well as compound state. Carbon in the free state is found as diamond and graphite, and in the combined state in the following compounds. So freely how you will get? In the form of diamonds and graphite. Okay, combined state, as I gave you example, as carbon dioxide, and in the form of carbonates such as calcium carbonate, marble, calamine, that is ZnCO3. Okay, now this calamine, it is used in most of the cosmetics. Okay, if you see any of the cosmetics, mostly girls as well, nowadays boys are also using, but you will see many of the powders and all, talcum powders and all, they have this calamine. Okay, compact powders and all. Fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, natural gas. Carbonaceous nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Natural fibers, cotton, wool, silk. So all these things, carbohydrates you are eating, proteins you are having every day in your food, means it is present in the form of nutrients also. It cotton clothes you wear wool clothes, you wear silk clothes, that means it is present with you. Okay students, so hence carbon is very important in our life. Okay, I hope till here it's clear. Yes, should we proceed further? Okay, this is all introduction part. Now we will come to the main part, that is properties of carbon. Allotropic nature of carbon. Now what is the students' allotropic nature? Allotropy. Now what is allotropy? Some elements occur in nature in more than one form. The chemical properties of these different forms are the same. Chemical properties will be same, but their physical properties are different. This property of element is called allotropy. What you will call, student, it as allotropy. The chemical properties of these elements are what? It will be same, but their physical properties will be different. So this property of the elements, it is called as allotropy. Okay, like carbon, sulfur and phosphorus also exhibit allotropy. Okay, students, so how carbon is showing this allotropy? Same way sulfur and phosphorus will also show. Okay, remember this. So we'll proceed now. Allotropes of carbon, in that the A1 we are going to study, that is the crystalline forms, okay, which are in the form of crystals. Which are those allotropes of carbon? Okay, now crystalline form has a regular and definite arrangement of the atoms. Crystalline means it has got a regular and definite arrangement of the atoms will be there. Okay, they have high melting points and boiling points. Remember, a crystalline form has a definite geometrical shape, sharp edges and plane surfaces. So you will remember these three important properties of a crystalline form of the carbons. What are they, students? A crystalline form has a regular and definite arrangement of atoms. They have high melting point and boiling point. A crystalline form has a definite geometrical shape. Okay, it will have some geometrical shapes. You have shapes, na? Triangle, rectangles. Okay, they will be having sharp edges and the plane surfaces. Okay, so we'll see the examples. Okay, now the first one, carbon has 3 crystalline allotropes. How many carbon has allotropes? 3 in the crystalline form, students. Okay, the first one is the diamond. Now everyone knows what are the diamonds. Okay, now diamonds are found in India, mainly in Govalkonda, Karnataka and Panna, Madhya Pradesh. Diamonds are also found in South Africa, Brazil, Belgium, Russia and America. Okay, just for your information, you must have studied this in your geography also. Okay, in minerals. Okay, you must have studied about diamond also. So these are all the occurrences where you can see the states where you can find the diamond. Okay, or the countries where you can find the diamond. Okay, these are the structure of the diamond. You have seen, okay, this picture of the diamond before also. Okay, now what is the structure exactly of this diamond? In diamond, every carbon atom is bonded to 4 neighboring atoms by covalent bonds. Now you know, students, covalent bonds are formed by the sharing of the electrons. You will remember. So which type of bonds are formed here? Covalent bonds. Okay, so every carbon atom means one single carbon atom will be forming the bonds with neighboring 4 other carbon atoms. Okay, due to this 3-dimensional structure, diamond become very hard. How is the structure, student? 3-dimensional structure. So you can see how the structure of the diamond is formed. This is the structure showing us for the diamond. Okay, so see here, if I take this one carbon atom, you can see it is bonded to 1 2 3 4. Okay, this will be also will be bonded to next 4. Like this the structure will move on. Okay, then any of the carbon, if you see, now if I see this carbon atom, okay, again it will be bonded to another 4 carbon atoms. Here is 1, here is 2 and another will be here. Okay, it is not shown now. Okay, if you take in between, now if you take this one, so see here, I'll just remove the other one. Yes, if you take now this carbon, okay, you can see bonding with this one, this is the second, this is the third and this one is the fourth. Okay, so like this one carbon atom is bonded to the 4 neighboring atoms by the covalent bond. Okay, students, I hope it is clear to you how 4 bonds are formed. Okay, so what are the properties of the diamond? Brilliant and pure diamond is the hardest natural substance. Remember, students, which is the brilliant and the pure diamond. It is very hard to break it up. Okay, the density of diamond is 3.5 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, the melting point of diamond is 3500 degrees Celsius. When diamond is heated at 800 degrees Celsius in the presence of oxygen, CO2 is given away. Okay, students. In this process, no other product besides CO2 is formed. Okay, so you will remember, when the diamond is heated at 800 degrees Celsius in presence of oxygen, which gas is formed? CO2 gas. And only this is the product which is, no other product besides CO2 is formed. Diamonds does not dissolve in any of these solvents. Diamond does not dissolve in water also. You know, water is an universal solvent, we say it. But diamond does not dissolve in water also. Okay. Rather, it does not dissolve in any of these solvent. Acids or bases have no effect on diamonds. Yes, so we use it as a jewelry. Okay, because none of the acids, water, bases react with the diamonds. Okay. Diamond is a bad conductor. Again, one more thing to use it as a jewelry. Diamond is a bad conductor of electricity and it does not have free electrons. You know, free electrons are very important for the conduction of the electricity. Now here no free electrons, so no conduction of electricity. Okay, students, I hope it is clear till here. Okay, we'll move to the next part, uses. You have to learn properties also, at least 4 properties you should learn. Uses also at least 4 uses. Structure part you have to learn. Okay. Now what are the uses, student? First use, diamonds are used in glass cutting and rock drilling machines. As you know, brilliant and pure diamond is very hardest substance. It cannot break easily. So we are using it in glass cutting. Okay. And rock drilling machines. Diamonds are used in ornaments. As I told you, in jewelry we use it. Diamond knives are used in the eye surgery. Okay, as it is not reacted by any acid, base or water, we can use it. Knives are made from the diamond, which we are using in eye surgery. Diamond dust is used for polishing other diamonds. Diamond is used to make windows, giving protection from radiations in space, and in artificial satellites also we use the diamonds. Okay, students, I hope the diamond, we have studied one of the allotrope of carbon, crystalline allotrope we will say, is clear to you. Okay, we'll proceed. Okay, student, now next we are seeing that is graphite. It looks like carbon only. Graphite is found in the natural state in Russia, New Zealand, America and India. The lead used in pencil is made by mixing graphite with clay. This process was discovered by Nicolas Conti in 1795. Okay. Now, what is the structure, students? Now, every carbon atom in graphite is bounded to 3 other carbon atoms in such a way that a hexagonal layered structure is formed. So, one carbon will be bonded to 3 other carbons. Okay. A graphite crystal is made up of many sheets or layers of carbon atoms. These layers slip over each other by applying pressure. One layer of graphite is called as graphene. So if this is my one layer, that one layer I will call it as the graphene. Okay. So one carbon, if I take now this carbon atom, see you can see 1, 2 and 3. So it is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms. Okay. Similarly, if I take someone else, okay, I'll take this one now. Okay, you can see that here one bonding will be there. This is the second bonding and this is the third bonding. So like this, they will be forming hexagon. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there, right? So it is going to form a hexagonal layer structure. Okay, students, and the layers will be one upon the other, so they can slip over each other. Okay, students, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, we'll proceed. Properties of graphite. First one, graphite found in nature is black, soft, brittle and slippery. Inside each layer of graphite, free electrons move continuously within the entire layer. Okay, so free electrons are present. That is why graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, students, as free electrons are present, it can conduct the electricity. Due to the lead structure, graphite can be used for writing on paper. Yes. The density of graphite is 1.9 to 2.3 gram per centimeter cube. Graphite does not dissolve in most solvents. Means in some rare solvents it dissolves, but in most of the solvents graphite does not dissolve. Okay students, I hope at least 4 properties you should learn by heart. Okay, we'll proceed to the next. Uses of graphite. Graphite is used for making lubricants. Okay, graphite is used for making carbon electrodes. We have used carbon electrodes in the experiment in electrolysis, if you remember. Okay, graphite is used in pencils for writing. Graphite is used in paints and polishes. Graphite is used in arc lamps which give a very bright light. So it can be used on the streets. Okay, so it can give a bright light, more light can be given. So arc lamps are also placed. Okay, so I hope what are the uses? 4 uses are enough. You should study by heart the 4 uses of the graphite. Okay students, I hope it is clear to you. So we'll proceed. For today what we studied, we'll just have a recap and then we'll stop today for today. Okay, we studied what is a carbon element. We have seen that carbon is very important in our life. Whatever things we are using at home, simple at school also, if you are using pencils and all, it is having a carbon, right, in the form of graphite. Then we studied occurrence of carbon. Yes, carbon is occurring in many of the states. Okay, then we studied what is allotropy. Then we studied about the allotropy. In that we saw about the chemical properties and physical properties, right? Chemical properties will be same, but the physical properties will be different. Then we studied allotropes of carbon. Yes, in that we studied the crystalline form, that was diamond and graphite. Okay students, we saw the two, that is we know that carbon has got 3 crystalline allotropes. Yes, but from that 2 we have studied today, that is the diamond and the graphite. We studied the structure, properties and uses. Okay student, so I hope today's part is clear to you. We'll meet in the next presentation and we'll continue with the lesson. Please go through this presentation properly. Thank you. Okay, take care.